Welcome to this presentation on topic Srimentry. The purpose of it is to discuss how to practice the teachings of Buddha to reach the state of Srimentry in mind. The teachings of Buddha is all about train the mind, and so this is an interesting topic of presentation from that sense, as we discuss in brief how to move beyond the theoretical knowledge gained from reading the books and similar sources to practically gain Nibbana or Srimentry and beyond. Often the term Nibbana is commonly spoken among practitioners. Sometimes it is described as happiness, sometimes it's described as peace. It's described as happiness because it abandons sufferings, and by abandoning sufferings, it leads to happiness. It describes as peace. By abandoning sufferings, it leads to a mental state of peacefulness. So these are providing some kind of partial explanations, and apart from that, we can also see that in literature, sometimes authors have mentioned that in early Buddhist literature, Nibbana is known to have 4 stages from a theoretical point of view. Interestingly, in practice, those who follow Sangha route or disciple route will attain Nibbana through these 4 stages, starting from Srimentry to Arhatship. In practice, these 4 stages are different simply because the kind of fetters that are abandoned at each stage differ, although first 2 stages might feel a bit alike. Each of these stages are different. Theory meaning what is written on books and similar sources. These sources have been available for practitioners for a long time, which is a good thing. The step towards Nibbana meaning moving from understanding the theory into reach the mind of a Srimentry and beyond. What has been less common and hard to find is the discussion surrounding how to practice the teachings of Buddha to gain the mindset of a Srimentry from a practical viewpoint. Srimentry and above states meaning individuals who reach these states naturally come to possess thoughts that are carrying the teachings of Buddha, as many as such thoughts a day. What this means in practice, in order to gain Srimentry and beyond, regular reflections of the teachings are helpful. At this way, one can develop thought process to maintain the teachings as much as possible in daily life. Reflections can come from many ways. Listening to Srimentry Dhamma talks can be helpful, so as regular chanting, as it also generates merits. Reading and reflecting on books and engage in meditation and so on in daily life. There are many ways to reflect on Dhamma in daily life. Let's say, for example, one way to reflect is that world is created in one's mind. By nature, sensory organs happen to gather information from external world. And as things change in the external world, the information derived can change, and this changing information sometimes can cause stress. By recognizing how this thought process changes due to changing information autonomously without the control of a being can help a being to be stress-free. In other words, by understanding a broader perspective of life is what Nibbana from another perspective, and so understanding how life functions in the universe can help someone to gain realistic view of life and to abandon the kind of stress that one experiences in daily life. Then again, if we were to think of life, how much ever one eats, one remains hungry, and everything it seems to go on cycle, and sometimes it may feel that it never ends. This may lead to feel kind of exhaustion, and sometimes life can feel heavy and may feel hard to carry on, and so on. So the mind naturally works on various ways, and mind naturally generates autonomous thinking process. Understanding how these thoughts are functioning on its own without the control of a being once again can help someone to abandon stress. And so regular reflections of the teachings of Buddha helps in order to gain this kind of understanding and awareness of non-self view. From a different perspective, all of us are subject to decay, and thus knowing that, please try not to regret over things that cannot be changed. Instead, be happy and do the best what can be done to live the life to the fullest, meaningful, be a blessing to self and be a blessing to others. This is the mind of a Sri Mentor, and what that means, if we were to twist around in practice, those who want to gain awareness and to reach Sri Mentor, it will be beneficial if they can try to maintain such mindsets and practice to develop such mind states in daily life. One of the key aspects of the practice is abandoning mental attachment. This is also because the world is created in one's mind. Physical giving up or external factors are not relevant, as it is a training in one's mind that is leading to gain awareness and to reach the states of Sri Mentor and beyond. If we were to think, why would someone want to abandon attachment or mental attachment? This is also because when there is self-will, greed, hate and delusion comes into play. For example, greed may mean that somebody wants to gain things better than another person, and this kind of thinking can generate a lot of unrest within. Similarly, hatred, when someone hates someone, some kind of unrest and not comfortable feelings and sensations appear within. In other words, delusion, thinking that all kind of bad things happening are really happening to self, can also create tremendous distress to a person. By abandoning identity view and staying mentally detached can help someone to abandon all kind of stress and to abandon greed, hate and delusion that are cause suffering to self and to others. Thereafter, if we were to question, how can one develop this practice of stop identifying? In other words, the answer would be by practicing the teachings of Buddha in the right way, progressively and slowly within one's comfort zone, starting from Sri Maitri by abandoning fetters leading to stagnation at the stage of Arhatship. This is the path and practice. So Nibbana essentially requires practice in the mind. Knowing theory is the preliminary step, and from there one needs to practice or train the mind slowly to abandon fetters to gain awareness. In practicing the teachings of the Buddha to reach Sri Maitri, it is helpful to train the mind in the middle way, meaning try not to be too much sad when experiencing sad things. Perhaps it will be helpful to try and think these sad things are a part of life and to gain more realistic view of life from a broader perspective. And also, try not to be extremely happy, perhaps kind of reflection that happiness it's great to be happy right now, but it won't last longer. So this kind of thinking and trying and slowly bringing the mind into a middle position, into a more stable position, this kind of practice in daily life will be helpful to develop the mind of a Sri Mentor. Abandoning fetters is a key aspect that needs to practice to gain awareness on Nibbana. If we were to question how to abandon these fetters, to develop non-self-view, regular reflections of the teachings in many ways and practicing middle mindset is helpful. Similarly, trying to be compassionate to self is helpful. Then if you were to question, when we talk about non-self-view, then why again we are talking about trying to be compassionate to self? This is because this is also the mindset of Sri Mantra. Reason for that is when someone feels or regrets over things that has been done in the past, which of course almost all beings do certain things that may cause regret in the past. Nobody's doing perfect things. It is unlikely in the past. So knowing that all what has been done in the past has really not been done by self, the kind of sense that it wasn't me, help a Sri Mantra to remain non-regret and stop having all kind of regrets about the past. So in other words, to have mind of a Sri Mantra meaning trying and being compassionate to self, trying and abandoning attachment to all kind of bad things and good things that has happened to one's past. And this is the practice that would help one to abandon non-self-view regarding past, and then slowly bring in such a view to the future events as well. And essentially trying to be compassionate to others, and also trying and not to discriminate self as well as others in many ways, based on social divisions, may it be because of gender, may it be because of class, may it be education, geographical location, may it be the lifestyle factor, and abandon all kind of discrimination to all beings and treat everyone with loving kindness and genuine care. This kind of a mindset, this kind of training is a helpful practice to gain the mind of a Sri Mantra. The practice also requires developing 4 factors of Sri Mantra. This means essentially becoming a good person. It may be becoming a good person as a mother, as a father, as a friend, as a colleague, as a sibling, as a good worker, in many ways. By being a little nicer, one can abandon selfish characteristics to reach non-self-view in practice. This is the practice that one needs to develop slowly within the comfort zone to develop the mindset of a Sri Mantra. Apart from that, developing 3 factors, confirmed confidence in Buddha, his teachings, and noble Sangha can be reached by regular reflection of the qualities of the Triple Gem. In addition to that, developing good habits such as paying homage to Buddha, his teachings, and noble Sangha in daily life, maintaining precepts, engaging in meritorious activities, taking time to reflect and applying the teachings of the Buddha into daily life, and maintaining noble 8 precepts can also be helpful. This is the end of this presentation. Thank you very much for listening.